first item on the agenda is public comments. Anybody here or in the audience on Zoom have any public comments? Brad, that's fine.
Comment on the, I know that the MAU board is going to be going after to get in this Spinelli Field thing. Now, I've got all the facts and figures on what was before, which I came out against. And I told them, I said, I don't care if you get a turf field in there or not, but some of the things that they build, a storage shed for $500,000 is a little asinine. And I told them that. And they know they like that, but I don't care less. Now, I was going to ask Mike if it's something that like the tech center could do as far as building a storage shed. Now they've had heaters and got the Taj Mahal thing for, you know, I can show you all the figures, but I just want to, if we can head them off at the pass, because I know they're going to spend money like a drunken sailor. And instead of doing that, let's use the tech center, which, and I know they're building something that's Road Hill, looks perfect. I mean, for what they're doing. And I know other things that they've built. So let's use our system that we have instead of getting foolish. And somebody $500,000 build a storage shed that they don't need to be heated and all this other nonsense. So I just bring that up because that's going to cost the taxpayers a lot of money. And everybody's already paying $1,000 to $1,200 more a month because high rate of inflation, you know, 40, 50-year high. And I just bring that out. I'm going to keep watching this and see how it transpires. So we can save some damn money and we need to save the money. So anyway, I just bring that up. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, seeing none. Next item is we're going to have a tour set up by the superintendent of the automobile department. Okay, so we'll suspend the meeting for a while and go down to the lab.
Yeah, so quickly, as we talked at the last meeting, one of the reasons that we do these meetings at the time we are so that you can see programs and students in action. So for those who are on Zoom, I'll bring my laptop with me. I know it'll be a little Blair Witch Project like, but we want to get you down there. And so today we are going to tour automotive. Tom's going to spend 5 to 6 minutes and give you some highlights of some of the things that are going in there. And then next month in May, we'll be talking business professions. Okay, sweet. All right.
All of you.
Work immediately. I might say something.
Yeah, great. Oh, yeah.
Are we shut down for this?
I guess so. Yeah.
Well,
All right. Yeah.
Are we? No, we're not private. Okay. No, that's fine. But like showing them down there.
Hey, Mike, you just might need to turn on your camera. I'm not sure if you're ready for that yet. Sorry.
Michael, are you on? Michael?
Yeah.
Michael, there's a little lag in the voice. I'm remote. I'm in I'm in Massachusetts.
That's why. Mike's microphone is muted.
Hey, Mike, your microphone is muted. Hey, Mike, I think your mic is muted. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
History credentials, getting ready to test out, so the end of the year, they'll be testing out for ASE, and they'll test out in automotive service training or technology, they'll test out maintenance and light repair, they'll test out in the core ASE areas, so steering and suspension, brakes, electrical, and performance. So ASE offers a lot of student level tests, so it's not the same as a technician that's out in the industry working. They don't expect them to have that hands-on component piece as far as much, hands-on work experience. So it's a little different test, but they're doing that. We're just finalizing Vermont State Inspection training, so they'll all be testing out the state inspection part of it. We'll be doing that within the next week or so. We're just doing the emissions component right now. We've done Tire Industry Association. We've done all the safety, all the lift training, that type of information. So we're moving along. We've got quite a bit done, and never enough time to get it done like you'd like to. But we're also doing some senior projects, is what some of them you'll see working on here now. So we got some fun projects they're getting ready to go with now. So if you want to come on down through, and we'll show you a little bit.
Yes, yeah, the two new ones over here. I think that Tom will probably show you a new rotary and a new scissor lift.
That senior project is something that they're supposed to make something educational that all the students can benefit from, something that they can share with future students or any of the classmates. But we have a few vehicles that were donated to us. This little Honda here looks quite nice. It's got about 350,000 miles on it. People wanted to go to a better home, and they donated out to us. It's actually pretty rusted underneath, so it really isn't anything good for the road. But what we're doing, we do a lot of labs on them, but as we get winding down with that, we're gonna figure out a way to scrap this out. But we're gonna take a lot of components off, and they've got to make their projects out of it now. So they're in there identifying some components to take out. On the backside, one of the students, we were able to get a 2-cylinder diesel pony motor that they use on tractor trailers. And we've got all the components, it's a complete setup, so they're gonna have that running. But it's a diesel, so it's a little bit different than what we normally have here. They're fabricating a stand here now for it, but it'll be a run turnkey type thing. They can start it up and run it. And it's what they use to run refrigeration units in a tractor trailer or a generator or a lot of different accessories. So rather than run a big diesel engine while they're parked for hours and hours when they're on the road, that's what they'll use. So it's kind of a neat thing, and it's a little different than what we normally do. But that's what they're doing there. They're charging a lot of work.
It's not mine.
Oh, and we're always working to keep up to date with the industry. We did update a couple of our lifts that came in through the summer months. They were able to install one just before school started. The other one was backward, but we finally got it. So we added another
Yes,
10,000
this
pound
one and
lift.
one over there.
It's a 3-tier arm. So the advantage to this lift, it's an asymmetrical lift, so it's spun a little sideways. It gives us a little more room getting in and out of the doors. But it also has longer reach for the arm. So all of these trucks and things that we're running into, the long wheelbase trucks, the big 4-door trucks, it makes it a lot more stable to put a vehicle on the rack and raise it up. So we're always well within the weight limit, but the other lift, it was very awkward. So whether it's a really short wheelbase, new style car with specific lift points or a long wheelbase truck, so we're able to do those a little easier. They were always safe, but it's definitely easier to work with.
Can you show us the new scissor lift, Mr. Haskins?
Yeah, we actually added, this is from Rotary Lift. It's very common in the industry. You'll find them in a lot of the dealerships. It's a scissor type lift. It's very quick and easy to use. I don't know if you want to move a little closer to see it, but you can drive right over the top of it. And you basically put these big rubber blocks underneath the lift points. And really quick and easy, it has a little lighter weight capacity, so this will do roughly an 8,000-pound vehicle and down, which is still a pretty good sized vehicle. But it's the safest lift in the industry. It's what most dealerships are using in their lube racks. So wherever they're quick change oil, change stuff, their entry level technicians, this is what they're trying to start them with, because it's much harder to drop a car off the lift with something like this. So they can drive the car right over the rack. These are fold up and down depending on the wheelbase of the vehicle, and you throw the blocks under them. And you can still, you have good access underneath to most everything. You can take the tires off, do a brake job. You can do an exhaust system on here, but you know, the quickest is the oil changes and undercarriage inspection. So it makes a nice quick lift. It was something a little bit different than what we had, but we thought would be nice. So usually in the dealerships now, what they find is they'll start them out with these, and as they move the technician up through, they'll move to the bigger lifts and different setups, so. Anybody have any questions at all on anything that we do, or?
Not that you mentioned something, the senior project thing, Vermont is trying to go all electric. And I didn't know what kind of projects that you might have had in here going that way for the students. But I want to do some electric, and every time you want to go to somebody said, well, you know, they act scared. They said, we don't know, we don't want to touch that, or we're not sure to do that. And I'm saying, well, what do we got going like that?
And we actually, we talked about this a while ago. I know this was a common thing. We've been working in that direction. I personally leased an electric vehicle, and that was my primary reason for doing it, because I wanted to be, I figure if I'm in front of the kids here talking, you know, I wanted to know a little bit about it. And we did the summer camps earlier this year with the students, and all of the younger students, I had regular vehicles that they could change the oil on or pull the tires off, but they were fascinated with the electric car. I really thought that was interesting, because those are the ones that are gonna be working on them and driving.
I know that Mr. Haskins would love to have an electric vehicle for school. We talk about that all the time. It's just a matter of finding some funding for it, so.
Yeah. And it should be something that's on the radar here in the future, but we are working on that. I did do a training program locally here where we had the fire departments involved, and we had a special electric car trainer come in and just talk about a lot of the different systems, and we always look for that type of thing. We introduce the students to them, we brought them in so they can see the different components, but to this point, other than a little bit of theory in the textbooks, a little bit of battery theory, that's about as far as we go with them, so.
Okay.
I know Hudson Valley Community College just opened up their first electric vehicle program. It's gonna start this fall, and one of my students here, he was here, he probably ran and hid when everybody came. But Skylar down there is already accepted, and he's gonna start in the fall in that program. There he is, right there. There's our electric car technician, so, but anyways, but yeah.
Southwest Tech Chevy Gold.
I think, Ash, you have a question?
Do you know how many of your students plan to take a job in the Bennington County area after they graduate?
That's a good question. I have a few usually will go off to school. I have still a few that are undecided. But most of them probably will end up right here somewhere working. Yeah. Yep. So,
Here, thank you.
yeah.
Do you guys cover transmission work at all, or is that like too advanced? Because I couldn't believe that I have to drive an hour out of town to get, transmission.
Automatic transmission type
Yeah.
stuff. So as a lot of areas with these cars, these things are so complex that it is a very specialized area. In the dealerships, you might have one technician that does their transmissions, and that's all they do, and it's only that model car because they are so specialized, or that model, transmission. So we'll introduce them to them, but for us, we're still on a very basic student entry level type area. So we introduce them to automatics. We've serviced them. We just finished servicing the one on the rack there. And we look at different concerns, but there's so much electrical on these things because they're all electrically controlled as well as hydraulics. So they are a very specialty unit, so.
I know how popular your program is, especially with students here. But is there much of a adult presence in this program?
Adults, I have 2 returning students this year. But over the past, it might be 1 or 2, it's hit or miss, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of them will go into the industry, because it's so specialized, a lot of your dealerships will offer their own in-house training. So, we have students now that are actually over at the Ford store, for instance, and she's been training specially on Ford, that's it. If you go to Honda, if you go to Toyota, they all have their in-house training programs, so if they don't choose to go to Hudson Valley or one of the other colleges or trade schools, the dealerships will provide their in-house training in hopes that they're doing it's really a tough time for everybody to keep and retain people and to get them in there. So we hear it in every angle, so it's really hard. So everybody's doing everything they can to get them in the door and keep them there, so.
Thank you, Mr. Haskins. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thanks for coming in.
I don't want to take a class one day.
Best shop in town, right? Best shop in town, I think. All right, we're going to mute for a second. We'll be back in the assembly room in about 2 minutes.
We didn't put them on the sidewalk, close to the road, we're gonna go crazy in the driveway, sidewalk talk. So they had them back, and had bicycles out, so. And my oldest was in college, I'm home for the weekend for Easter. So we got her back on with lots of goodies and stuff, but it was nice to see her. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I really holiday, so we just spoke and when you were young, she was Catholic by birth, but then she lived here, we lived here. We come home, in our plane, we walk in the yeah, but I used to have all that, I had a little, I was Catholic, I used to have the little white, pocketbook, and it was one of the special things you got an Easter outfit. You got an outfit for University School, and you got an outfit for Easter. Because you got other things, but yeah. Yeah, it was office, so you did.
We're just doing a little question and answer period here. We should be back up in another couple minutes.
Right. Yeah, maybe you go to church. Could be, no, you didn't go to school. Exactly. You can't do nothing. I'm gonna try to catch up with a couple of relatives and April break, go down and visit. That's the Lord, we can't see the one that's in the nursing home. Do my due diligence. So you want to give me? No, I'll be here Monday, Tuesday, after Wednesday. Tiffany will be off, and then she'll bill for me Thursday, Friday. So we're like, I'm gonna say, I can hear shit. Both need it. No, no,
Yeah, sorry.
I can't. ringing. The phone that I have, there's no way I can pick up their call, right?
I can have it forwarded to your phone.
Oh, there's gonna be somebody here, but so if something happens that they're not here, that is an option,
Yeah.
right?
That's an easy
Okay.
language.
Okay.
Because actually, the last week of June, Tiffany had asked for that week off, and that's the week we're doing my father's burial at Arlington National. So, yeah, so excited about that, yeah. So, I'm gonna end up doing that week too. Well, I already asked me, but, and nobody's here anyway, kids wise and stuff, so it'll be fine, but
Yeah.
it'd be good if you'd be able to hear what's going on.
Yeah, so that's good to know that, because that's the other thing. One day, well, it was later, both of you left at the end of your day.
Yeah.
And the phone was ringing, I happened to be out at the computer, so I answered it with Tiffany. And it happened to be Mike calling in, but he's like, Becky, is that you? I'm like, yeah. But here, I'm like, I think it was probably 4:45,
Yeah.
or something, but it was ringing, so I felt like I had not answered.
I always feel guilty when Tiffany's
Did I tell you that I will meet connection? Betsy told me the other day, it's like, I think I remember seeing you there years ago.
Oh, yeah. All right.
It would have been. I know. That's right, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this week's gonna be great.
Yeah. Started the camera, right, but it's crazy. Camera all Yeah.
High school, he said he's a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can't take free. You can't deal. You don't want to have a policy meeting at 10:30.
What did you teach over at the school?
What did I? Oh, at the college I'm teaching math.
What?
Mathematics. Yes.
Every day.
No, I've got one class this semester at the college and two at the. You know the Kappa program? Yeah.
Okay, well, call the meeting to order. Under the consent agenda, the first item, the minutes from the RGB school board meeting, Monday, March 13th. There's a motion,
So moved.
Second it.
second. Any questions on the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor, raise your hand.
Aye.
Payroll warrants, 1036 and 1038.
I'll move them.
Okay. Second,
23.
oh, I'm number 23. 36, number 23, 38. We have motion, who second?
Second.
Okay, Mike. Any questions on the payroll? See. Award. 37. Okay, any questions on the? Okay, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
The capital revenue and expense, any questions? I know you could ask Mrs. Redding, and she can get answers hopefully from the.
No. Yes, sir.
No question.
Okay, now we need an executive session under 1 VSA 313 pertaining to contracts. We have a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Second. second. All in favor?
Aye.
Hey, for a point of clarity, we are going to stay in this room for executive session. For CAT TV, I'm going to put CAT TV back in the waiting room. And we'll let everyone back in. when we're done.
I've been asked to do a quick summary of next steps, and we.
Did you open the session back up public?
Yes.
So coming out of executive session, we are looking to meet with our legal counsel, just get words into our contract that would add that to spell out that the superintendent may work remotely as part of the duties being administered, and also to incorporate within the contract language that the request was 50% of travel reimbursements being covered through the hybrid work schedule. And so our plan is to basically schedule a meeting with the executive committee at some point in the next few days, really, to get that language worked out, and then to have a special meeting of the board before the end of this month to approve that contract language. So that's our.
Okay. We don't have to vote on that. That's what's just gonna happen.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, superintendent report.
I'm going to shorten my report a little bit because I know we've run into almost 2 hours with our meeting because of executive session today. I want to congratulate all of our, I had something to pass out here today, but last week and this week were a lot of competitions for our Skills USA students, as well as HOSA, ProStart, and all the trips that you have approved over the last, I don't know, month and a half or so, give or take. I have all the winners of Skills USA right here in front of me, but I cannot tell them to you because the banquet has not occurred yet. Students are about to eat lunch in Burlington, and my luck would be that someone will be watching the CAT TV feed and know who won. So you have to wait to hear on that one from me. But I can tell you about HOSA, which is our health occupations. We already know who won. They've been back for a couple of weeks, and I'd like to recognize them here. Gold medalists in health career display, Amber Granger and Sarah Parcher. Health career photography, Alyssa Champagne. In behavioral health, Jordan McIntyre. Silver medalists for the display, Mackenzie Russell and Zandri Schaefer. For extemporaneous writing, it's hard to say, Mia Maroney. And bronze medalists for the career display, McKenna Brighton and Taylor Hill. And nurse assisting Brianna Carey. And so these students who are medalists will hopefully be traveling to Texas in the end of June, along with our Skills USA winners who will be announced the next meeting or sooner. We'll be working with the business office and the board to hopefully we find the funds to get those students to their national competitions. They are expensive, as you know. These are our sports teams. We don't have sports. These are our sports teams. And when our students win gold locally, going to a national competition is something, a once in a lifetime opportunity for most of these students. And as you know, we routinely come back with medalists from nationals as well. So that's something that the school and community should be very proud of, that we are putting our students from our relatively small school up against much larger schools from across the entire country, including post-secondary when it comes to national competitions. So the fact that students can earn a gold medal, silver, bronze place at all in a national competition should be something that everyone's incredibly proud of, because I know I am. I wish I had the opportunity in high school to do such a thing. I just didn't. And these trips are, well, expensive and anxiety producing for the superintendent while they travel. And for the business office, getting the expenses squared away, it's worth every aggravation, pinch, and frustration that goes with them because it's so important to these students. So congratulations to the HOSA winners. Also ProStart, our ProStart Invitational, our students medaled there as well down in New Rochelle. And I don't have the whole list in front of me, so I'm going to miss stuff. So I'll have to get it to you in a written report or at the main meeting once we know everyone's status today with the with the winners for skills. So there's been a lot going on for the center enrollment. We have our numbers for this spring. Our FTE report, well, it's not verified yet, as 171 FTEs. It's the largest one I've seen since I think I've been here. So that's going to be good for forecasting our budget in the future. As you know, we currently work off of FTE funding. That may change in the future, but 171, whatever it is, FTEs, that's really good. We've been down into the 130s before. So this is a great number to have. It doesn't necessarily mean we have more students. It means students are spending more time with us. So, which is an interesting calculation, but you should be happy about that. I'm very pleased with that. So that's what I have for my report today.
Thank you. I don't have anything. As the chair. Okay, anything anybody else has to bring up?
I'll move adjournment.
Okay, second? Second. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Cat TV is celebrating 30 years of community media. Help support Cat TV's next 30 years by becoming a member today. Your membership will help us continue covering meaningful, local content. Thank you for supporting your local community media station.